What other people say about you doesn't matter. But you should not be ashamed of what you have done. Integrity. Okay, so when you know how to be yourself with healthy self worth and to stop taking things personally, you'll know integrity. You'll know how it is to be whether a 5D mystic or a 5D functional adult. That lovely spiritual self help serves those who know how to be their inner world. So, as we were discussing, a divine feminine is what I get to share with you all I am, but I do have my own divine masculine, and that is my mind, and then masculine feminine. But as for our oversoul, yes, we do have divine masculines, some of us, and that would be the divine feminine of one's own oversoul. You will acknowledge all on your own with the energetic imprints that come to you, downloads, and then people that do need additional support work with those of us who call to them. So if somebody wants self-help with the spiritual component because of being a mystic, they will either say, "Ooh, Maria can help me," and that's because of this. Again, you know that spirituality is not a gift in the way of it having to be something special, but that it is a relationship that you have with your own. I want to use different words than what the community out there uses. So I'm going to leave it blank for now, but it's primarily energetic is what I'm going to hone in on, because you'll notice like a fragrance. So like a flower, and it has a smell, okay? A person who's a divine feminine within the 5D spectrum will not walk this lovely plane of earth thinking that their clairs make them special. They will not think that they feel more deeply than another human being. That will feel egoic immediately. Also, the word anointed feels egoic immediately. Any of those who we see walking around that are spiritual bypassers, we will recognize immediately. We will not say anything, because when you recognize low self-esteem, indirect communicators, passive aggressive, as I was saying, we're not impressed, for one. Two, it's none of our business. We learn how to leave alone those who do not want to welcome their inner child home, and so they may have clairs and think of themselves as divine feminines. We acknowledge that they are people who have a relationship with the energetic sphere. We're all a part of it, which is also why we don't go around telling a state of consciousness, another person, mystic, "Oh no, you're not this, you're this." Here I'm sharing with my community, because again, the people who will hear my voice, it will call to the 5D mystics. The ones who are not within the community, they will not be, what's the word? Nah. So when you don't claim yourself, you will have your own unconscious, subconscious not be a part of you. So I will know of your inner child, you will not. I will notice your mannerisms, you will not. Once again, why divine feminine notices a mask, and we will not need too much time to be around you, because we will, by the third time skip and fall, I'm going to notice it. My ears are going to hear your inconsistency, and they're Jacob ears. I won't be pointing it out to you, Cusco. I'll be having what is called an authentic conversation with another human being who is authentically being their conscious self in the absence of noticing their inner world. So they're not being their true self, but they're being a self that they are completely choosing to maintain. And, again, Cusco's bountiful. So those people are the ones who actively take things personally. So you can't talk about different, let's say, political stuff. I have my own opinion about people in politics, and we know right now in our lovely US of A, there is a situation. I have learned how not to talk about politics with anyone or religion unless they're a person who has healthy self-worth, and then they can actively maintain what is a specific type of tone with me, and then engage with interest and curiosity. The minute that there begins to be something different, I cease to engage, because I'm no longer having what is an intellectually stimulating conversation. I'm beginning to hear the adaptive child come forth and make it all about their right, wrong, all this stuff. So right and wrong is not a conversation. It's an active 3-year-old with a Cusco attitude, and a Pacha is not going to, again. So when you are able to be yourself, the spirituality path, true spirituality, is where you put the personality to the side. In fact, when we look at our lovely Sadhguru quotes, I shared these with you a couple days ago. Let me grab them in case some of you are new. You will not have heard of them. Your personality is something you have created. Once you are aware of that, you can create it whichever way you want. He says, if you could walk on the street and operate with people in such a way that you put up a personality as it is necessary for the person before you at this moment, then it would be so much fun drawing new caricatures every day. And this is where the 5D collective, when you learn of 5D, Christ consciousness, the vibration, but also the people, like Jesus taught me about unconsciously loving, so do those. And it's called a restorative embodiment, self-aware, accountable, and regulating person. It's an integrated brain. In fact, it's actively also called a person who has compassion and kindness for the updated attachment and trauma information people. It is not a gift. It is an active choice when you put into practice mindfulness and mindsight and mindset. And that's what we get to do here for those of you who choose a spiritual self-help journey with me, and you come tune in to become a part of the community. So we get to be functional adults, and therefore we know also how to be here for each other. We help people go back in time, not to relive their experiences, which is re-traumatizing, but to go back in time to change their experiences, to get in touch and give compassion to their younger self. Howard Schubiner, MD. And so this is where the healing trauma one person at a time and relationships, it's because when you are a person with healthy self-worth and you don't take things personally and you're with Cuscos, you're an active Pacha who's a safe haven, secure base for a Cusco who wants to become their authentic self. That's actually why we don't lecture Cuscos. It is not because we want to hide our opinions. It's because our opinions don't matter. You matter, not my opinion, meaning your own thoughts and your own emotions, your own state of consciousness. I'm not here to lecture you. I'm not your parent. It's also why our life partners are not people that we're going to baby and keep with a fucking string. That is ridiculous. If you need a string, you don't know that you still have a shame button, and I'm not going to be poking at it. I'm actively going to be telling you your contribution to the world is you, all of you. You can be yourself. And when you have a mood, it's not a big deal. I can handle your mood. So we're going to conclude with a story. And this one is something that happened a long time ago. So again, what other people say about us to a divine feminine, we don't give a shit. It's because my inner child adult doesn't give a shit about your thumbs up, thumbs down. I don't have a shame button. Thanks, Mom. Thanks, twin. And when I saw teenagers, I wasn't impressed. I'm not impressed by cowards. And then I got attachment trauma informed, and now I'm sad for all those cowards, and I hope they all get therapists. The cowardice people, though, they seem to not want Patrick Teahan. They also say, I found it hard to believe that my first 3 years of life and all this trauma, bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Okay, bullshit it is. See you later, alligator. Nice to have a fun ride. And so we don't care about words that don't mean anything because it's not even projection. Once you understand how many people just have a super villain cape or a superhero cape and they sound dramatic like any other teenager out there, becomes oh my gosh, is there another one? Let me leave. See you later. I had such a great time. So that's a side note. But, okay, we are not going to be ashamed of who we are, what we do. So respect is the number one thing. That's what a divine feminine will know because, again, I don't walk in your shoes. I don't and have never walked in those lovely shoes. And those shoes, for some people, they're not as lovely, are they? Not only circumstances in the night, they marry laughing and handsome, and mirror an invasion of reflection of trust. My lovely body gave me this wisdom. But also, candlelight illuminates damage beneath the feet with wave of lights that come from the heart of the sky, the love force that made all creation possible. It does not know good or bad. You give it the clear intention that will guide the formlessness to form and manifest the invisible into the world of matter through the cycles of life and day to day, the evolving self, oneness with flow, and the relationships you create, the heart and mind and body of you as one. And this is where, again, I love, this is all mine, but it's thanks to this activity that I got to do with a bunch of beautiful ladies and gents. Candlelight illuminates damage beneath the feet with wave of lights that come from the unification, interconnectedness, and a sense of continuum with humanity, nature, the cosmos, Akash, spirit, source, God, dark matter, dark energy, all intrinsically connected. We bring sciences, spiritual, and spirituality here through these lovely circumstances in the night, that merry laughing and handsome and mirror an invasion of the reflection of trust in humanity, human evolution, and the expansion of consciousness, love, life, the essence of all that lives in form and comes from the formlessness of the heart of the sky. And I did adapt it a little bit. We have a version, I forget when it is that I posted it, but you could look it up. And I gave you some of it in Italian too. So with that being said, the story is where, again, integrity is not me shaming you, blaming you, faulting you, or doing any revenge, envy, jealousy, spite, harboring resentment, harboring vengeance, which is what some people harbor. It's a very sad story. Identifying with their biggest mistake, another sad story. So again, cowards are not impressive. If anything, it's sad, but then we also have the respect to know that those who do want to stay within human suffering in this day and era, they choose that. Because like Patrick Tiahan points out, there is plenty of good information online. Just go to YouTube. The ones who are not using it, they are choosing to use something different. And with that, so when you know how to be yourself in the way that I just said, doesn't matter how old you will be, you will consistently become more expanded. And then when you're presented with people who are having a mood, you don't say, I'm going to cut you out because you had a mood and you hurt my feelings because this sounds like a child to me. Because I was a teenager when I was sensitive to the extent of it's not personal. And I learned actively when this thing that I don't know who it was that was saying it, it was being personal. So I was like, sure, it's not personal to you right now, but it is personal. But at the same time, as they were doing this thing, whoever, again, it was, I contemplated it with my heart. And I was like, is it personal, Maria? I was like, well, no, my heart is actively participating. That doesn't have to be personal. I actively don't have to have any emotional response to this. It's words. It's sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never harm me. And the people who say until they do, I say, no, it's my brain. I actively think. It's my heart. I actively keep it open. That's exactly what it means to be mindfully aware of yourself, and then to have introspection, and then to be also aware of your focused attention and kind intention and knowing the inner growth mindset. Da, da, da. So, of course, though, I was like, that's why I can teach it, because I did it. And there you go. And so the part about inner growth, it went from inner conflict to inner growth, because as I was writing the first part of the book and creating the courses, I said, but wait a minute. Or wait, I finished the book first and then the courses. Anyways, long story short, I said, this is an opportunity for growth. It's not a conflict. It's actually giving you more harmony, more of you. And that's where then the course, dealing with uncertainty, unexpected, and unwanted from within you while going with the flow, the three main modules of the inner growth mindset. And then I got attachment trauma informed, and now I know the importance of helping all of those people who want to do self-help personal development to understand that spirituality and just anything that involves your emotions, where's Sadhguru? Let me go get him again. Right here, where are you? The spiritual process is not a career, it is a way of life. And this is what people don't know. So he says, there's something within you which is longing to be spiritual. It's your 1-year-old. Your 1-year-old was seeking consistent, contingent communication so that it could flourish. In fact, human is not a resource. A human being is a tremendous opportunity, possibility. With the right nurturing, they will blossom into someone remarkable. And so every one of you, like I, can have had secure attachment. But then your 3-year-old, you also want to notice, did you stay differentiated, or did the shame button happen When you see Cusco's, they had a shame button. And so there's fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of shame, humiliation. These are wounds that you can heal with a good therapist, and then you can continue doing personal development, and you'll grow more loving, more compassionate, more integrated, because love is inclusiveness. It's seeing each other, it's listening to each other, it's sharing. Sharing what? The depth of your heart, and it's also sharing time. So anyone who doesn't text you back, who doesn't talk to you, who doesn't share their heart, they don't want to. It's a straightforward equation. It doesn't get harder to love. It gets very easy to see rejection, abandonment, injustice, betrayal, humiliation, shame. People who aren't actively doing anything except for what I saw teenagers do. It's actually boring, to say the least, for someone who's a divine feminine. Again, when we see the divine feminines who think they know everything with their clairs, they become disrespectful towards their divine masculines completely. Because it's one thing to know that a person is choosing fear and that they're doing so, and you can see as they get treated like pieces of shit by people, because we see that. It's very nice to be taken out of the picture, by the way. We can't handle to watch masculines getting treated like pieces of shit while they actively say, oh no, I deserve it. Sure, go, have fun. I'm happy I don't have to watch somebody that I respect actually disrespect theirself, have me have to participate. I won't actively not. I'm removing myself with great pleasure, by the way, so that I don't have to look at anyone as they, good boy, good girl, good day, because it seriously breaks my heart. No, Kali begins to come up. You should have seen me when I was watching this human being man inform bazillion couples of how stupid man's brain is, and women apparently chaotic, and they're all laughing and giggling. It was, I watched, I don't even remember if one, two, it was 3 or 4. I said, I need to see this. Is this actively what the masses think of each other? I'm so happy that I have none of this. Nope. Nope. And whenever I have been given the gift of being far, far, far away, see, divine feminine knows it's a good thing that I have silence. I get to sit, be with oneness. Shiva, come in. Krishna Lila, let me have some fun. Let me go learn something of smarts. Because I don't want to deal with any of those who think they're smart. Well, I might be the stupid lady. I'm okay with being a stupid lady. Spiritual does not mean looking up or looking down. That's exactly why we don't want to look at them. At anyone that's a masculine and actively thinks that they're doing something fabulously fabulous, while we're like, whoa, now I really need to get out, because otherwise I will look at you in a way I don't want to look at you. So again, or praying or going to the temple. Nope, yep. Spiritual essentially means you are in an experience which is beyond the limitations of the physical. Yes, become an integrated brain. Come on over. Daniel Siegel, he shares with you exactly how amazing it is, integration. Where are you, Daniel? Let's tell them about integration, Daniel. So, as he points out, this integration made visible. Well, he says kindness and compassion. I already know the people who don't want to be their self, they don't see us as kind. We're evil bitches, evil witches, and who knows what you're hiding underneath that skirt, or however it is those expressions go. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Sure, I'm hiding a bunch of shit. You keep talking. You keep making up supervillain stories. I'm humored. No, I'm not. It's actually a done deal for me. I just can't wait to go. Bye. You have fun with your supervillains and superheroes. Okay, I'm going to have fun with the good therapists who are going to try and recruit people who want to heal from their trauma, because seriously, that's exactly how it feels. Like, come on, come become your own self. I'm selling something. It's called You Get to Be You, but for real, not pretend. I'm going to have to do that one. I like that. Selling Be You, the real way, not the pretend way. Oh, but then you see people writing, it's fucking boring to be well. So, okay, they're with the Zen master who talks to them about laundry, and with the avoidant attachment lady who says, all people are fucked up. I don't want to do journaling or mindfulness or meditation or pay for the therapist because they said I'm doing a good job. So, I'm just going to stay this way. Okay. Have fun in the body of yours. That energy ain't increasing. You're slowly doing other stuff, but let me not be the one to let you know of the good news. You're potentially saved if you want. You don't have to come over. Save your lovely body from, growing old. Oh, we're going to grow old. It's just you get to do it with the social engagement system. So see, this is how you do it, attachment coaches. You got attachment coaches telling people secure attachment is boring. Really? You obviously don't know secure attachment, lady and gents, like not even a little bit, which is why you think it's boring. And this is the most amazing you could ever be versus what that limbic system is. I remember when I got out of it, I was like, this is a good thing all by myself. No one wanted to help me to stop venting. You're human, Maria. That's the point. But you're not Jesus or Buddha. They were human too, and that's not the point. But if you put it that way, I'm sure that if they were human, I can do it too. It's just saying and not live any of the meaning of it, but the body. And that's why you find out Sadhguru says you can be a Jesus and Buddha or me. And he just doesn't know the right words. It's called restorative embodiment, self-aware person. And all of the lovely good attachment trauma information people are telling you about why yoga helps. It doesn't bring demons out of you, but your body does keep the score. And Bezo Vanderkolk tells you all about that. And there's a lovely lady, her name's Lisa. She tells you it's a score card, and that brain keeps the score because, you know, the left mode, which is true. The way you talk to yourself and to partners is the way you were talked to. Actively, I saw this video. Let me finish reading first. That means you are in boundless space. Is why I go like a Fibonacci wheel. So you have to wait all the way till the end to actually hear all of it. But all I'm saying is you can be the beautiful you with love in your heart. And then you're going to have people who stick around, because the ones who don't, it's okay. We don't want to watch as they continue to allow people to treat them like shit. I'm just letting you know that. Oh, I'm okay with not having to watch people who choose to not live the highlight of their life. I'm not joking. I was given a gift once. Yes, I'll never forget that gift. And no, it's one of those, no, not bittersweet. Because see, a divine feminine has the wisdom. And then a divine feminine has a relationship with Shiva. A divine feminine, an actual intuitive, an actual mystic, I'm going to keep using those words, doesn't have questions for life or humanity. Divine feminine knows why the evil people of the future are the ones who are trying to have life live forever. Because life has its own cycle. And when I say life, what I mean is us actively being able to be in bodies and mortals. And it sounds like a movie sometimes when I come back to the same conclusions over and over again. As a kid, and I learned about this precious gift called life. And I learned it with God and Jesus. And now I'm saying the same stuff, just in different, more expanded ways. Which is why you don't feel changed. I got taught because I love to learn. I can thank my attachment trauma information people. The last 2 years have been enlightening to something that I didn't know how to break down to you, which is why it makes me a better self-help, personal voice, mentor, all of these things, which is why you never aren't where you're meant to be, which is also why you don't give crap to your divine masculine or masculines the way that these feminines do. You allow yourself to share with your friends and loved ones what's going on. Then they begin to insult people that you love. And then you begin to say, are you done insulting? Are you done trying to make me think of my love life the way your love life is? I don't understand why you keep on comparing. We're not in the same boat. Stop doing this non-differentiated shit. It's getting annoying. You're in my space. Does anybody know what a 3-year-old wants? A whole 3-year-old heart who's been left alone to live their life just the way they want to? I'm just going to say it because see, this is why. There's no selflessness here. It's called Maria's World. Get the fuck away from me and back off. And you're talking in my ear and you're actively talking about my shit and it's personal. And I'm not making it personal. I'm saying I'm me and I have a twin and she's not me and I'm not her. That's called healthy self-worth. I'm a differentiated human being. You're meshing. Dr. Daniel Siegel explained what this is, which is why every time I remember all these things as I was growing up, I'm like, okay, I'm meshing. That's why I'm like, back the fuck off. I mean, I wouldn't tell that. I didn't curse as a kid growing up. I'm just like, I need to get out of these relations. Who the fuck are these people? Get away from me. One of them just felt like suffocating. That I don't remember who it was. I just know I can't have this person around me. They're suffocating. They're taking my breath away, but not in a good way. I was like, oh my gosh, get away from me. And I have not built any relationship with people who are like that. In fact, I have the honor to share with you all, I totally love my avoidance because they will just go and be on their own. They leave us alone. Nobody needs to do anything. And that's why I'm such a happy champ. Because yes, the silent treatment is not something that we're like, oh no, I'm dying inside. They didn't talk to me. It's like, oh, I can go do my interesting things. Yay. I have fun. And that's why we all know who we are. Have fun in life. It's really good when we balance it out. But also, healthy self worth people are like, they didn't text me back. They don't love me anymore. Now, we do get worried every now and then, so I'm going to stop teasing too much, but not to the extent of where it's like, I have friends of mine, literally every now and then, there's some of them, I'm like, I wonder if they don't want to talk to me anymore. There's a, thinking of one of my lovely friends. And then they will write me, I'm like, okay, they're still good with me. Okay, cool. But it's a crossing thought because, of course, this is that part of where we all will like to have some consistent communication. But people are grown ups. If they don't like each other, they won't talk to each other. And that's where integration, made visible, it's kindness, compassion. This road to integration can be incredibly energizing because what you're doing and helping is someone heal, and it is someone bringing into this lovely world that love and connection that is the birthright for all of us. Life as we move together to create more integration in our world. And as Sadhguru says, the most precious thing is life itself. Will you realize this now or only on your deathbed? And more than just that. So I want us to continue with our Daniel Siegel, how he shares anyone who is in a role as a secure attachment figure for an individual, you might be the only person. So that's why the patchas are important. And that's why HP, again, we heal trauma one person and relationship at a time, not because we have trauma, because we are healthy self-worth people who rely on our integrity. We don't hear your words in a way of you just caused me some offense. You can use all the words you want. Freedom of speech. Anyone? So for me, use all the words you want. It didn't hurt my feelings. The last time I wasn't even hurt. I was a teenager. Okay, so this is when it's not personal because you know it doesn't have to be. And if it is, you know how to work with your emotional charges. That's what it is to do mindfulness. Again, mindset and mindset, which is why your mind is everything. Which is why Lisa, when she says your mind keeps the score, it's because the story comes here. The scorecard, though, is here, which is why both are important and equally of importance, because if you're projecting it, you're going to only be aware of it when somebody says, hey, you're projecting your mood onto me. That's the moment of accountability, regulation, self-observation with objectivity and saying, you know what, yeah, I am pissing my pants right now, but this is why, and you keep talking. You don't cut each other off. You don't stop talking. When people don't talk to another human being, you know how some, I can't close this circle. So some people, they have come to me in the past wanting closure. I'm like, you don't need closure. Silence is closure. They don't give a shit to tell you anything. That's as simple as it gets. You think I'm going to come ask you to close something you chose actively to not close with me? It's called you disrespected me. Your amygdala showed me how. You don't give two shits. If you did, you wouldn't have done it in the first place, and you would have had the active balls, vaginas to talk to me in my face, which is what a person will appreciate when it does happen. Even though if you're yelling at me, you're not actively having a conversation, but at least you told me to my face what you think, even though it's going to be triggered, which means that it's not your actual opinion. It's that you're pissed in your pants, which means you might decide something, whatever. So this is why anyone who doesn't know how to be a grown-up for Apacha, today you say A, tomorrow you say B, tomorrow you say C. Yes, you're like a little flag in the wind. Either you're approaching becoming this lovely self of you, the spiritual, in installments, or you are consciously going for the ultimate. So this is the longing that every human being has to become this spiritual. So spirituality, aka your inner child adult. I can bring it to you with Sadhguru or Dr. Daniel Siegel, and both they say the same. But the part is, are you objective enough about yourself to be aware, accountable, and then regulate? And if you are, then I'm going to say this again. If you're ready to be yourself, you unconsciously love all humans because you don't cast a stone. They're all imperfect and flawed like every one of us. And we don't need to blame Lucifer for everything that is evil out there. We can know that we have 2 hands, 2 feet, and we have human beings, and we did torture people in the medieval times, so we have transgenerational trauma. cultural trauma. We have a lot of bad manners and we have addictions because people, as teens, are inclined and prone to becoming addicted in certain ways because their brain actively has a way that it is from their 12 to 24. Anything is explainable about a human being embodied brain for those who are educated and don't lack education or imagination for that matter. And ones who lack education, they got a buttload of imagination and they like to play with fancy words, and some of us can do a lot more with our words, which is basically help you to understand spiritual anyone. It's called you being yourself like a grown human being. So if somebody says you're a bitch, Maria, wow, really? Okay, so I think I should go right now, right? I don't know if I want to ask you. So you learn how to notice the tone, and then you think, okay, no, my gut tells me. My gut immediately. So if I know there's room to talk, good. If I know there's not, I think I should go. I think you're not enjoying yourself. And usually if somebody isn't, I'm gone already. So with that being said, again, be kind, be compassionate. I think I was going to share with you a story, but I can't remember the story anymore. Plus, I've kept you long enough. So I think I might do a take two for the story. And in the meantime, thank you for stopping by. Like, share, and subscribe. If you know anybody who does want to actively do spiritual self-help, be a actual badass, which means that we say we're sorry. If somebody is so upset, like, look, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt your feelings. Like, please, and then if they start saying, yes, you did, no, I'm not. Oh, I have plenty of stories. You know what? I'm going to do a take two with some storytelling time. Because, see, I have the honor of having a twin. I got this own. So I know all about ruptures and repairs without taking anything personally. Because my lovely caregiver called Mother, she explained, different doesn't mean good or bad. It's just different. Also doesn't mean you can do the same things. It means different. And different means, and so when you get repeated equanimously things again and again, that's why I can say different doesn't mean better or worse. It just means different. And then you're just doing it on spite to be different. No, but even if so, but no, I would know if I was. I don't do things out of spite. Why would I do things out of spite? I'm just Maria. Who are you? You can't say that. I just did say that. Why are you correcting me? This is why it can get annoying for people to be around a inner child adult. But that's also why we learn how not to do this stuff. So I only do this stuff. No, I don't. I only share with you all. I actively don't do it. In order for this to happen, though, there would be, and actually now that I think about it, there are some beautiful people that I can play with because they like my tail. I'm a mermaid, and I have an attitude, and I'm a woo-woo lady with magical powers. So that's why it's really fun when you have people who are into the merland. And I actually was a mermaid, by the way, in one of my lives. Obviously, we can't prove any of this, but yes, mermaid. And then also on this lovely field, I don't remember what words to use, but between sorcerers and magi, whatever, that's another one. And then in another situation, this one was anybody watch? It's not like the Pirates of the Caribbean, but when she's up in that castle, the second one or something like that, so where you're in that era. Okay, where the women would wear those corsets, but I didn't have a corset on. Thank goodness, I probably would have fainted. But basically, a woman looking out the window like that. So yeah, that's another. Those are three of the first lives that I got to remember, and this is thanks to one of my twin flames. And then I got to remember more. This is another twin flame, and that other twin flame, I'm pretty sure I understand why in those instances there's actively their first lifetime. So here's what a divine feminine can tell you also in the Enlightenment Soul Age. Please remember. And that's for my mystics right now. You will know of the different soul age groups. I learned about them. And 0 to 1 or 0 to 3, that's where some of the souls that are part of my oversoul are at. And so those people actively, when I engage with them, in the astral plane and in past life regressions, they don't have past lives except for this one with me. And that's because that's their first life, which is why it makes sense when I think of the interactions that we all have had with those specific people of my oversoul. Yes, you will know who they are. As I was trying to say in the other one, energetic imprint, it's like a perfume. You won't even believe when things happen in a way that you're like, no way, that's impossible. Oh, I love life. So yes, I know about my love life, and there are things that I knew even as a child that I then found out when I was a grown up that I then can look back and say, ah, I expanded. Oh, it's good. They stayed where, no, they didn't stay, but long story short, it's fun. It's fun to actively be a person who's a mystic for me and any 5D mystic. The ones who think that it makes them special, I'm happy they feel special. They obviously did not feel special at home, because the fact that you will feel more special because of Claire's tells me that you didn't think you were already beautiful just the way you were, which is sad. That's why, again, a divine feminine won't be telling somebody you're not special. It will be, we're all special. Just because we have Claire's doesn't mean we have more than any other person. And the fact is that a divine feminine will actively know that she's been given the not short end of the stick, which is what the people who made that whole twin flame thing out to be the way they did. It's a little competition that they have going on with themselves, with their own self. That's even more ridiculous. You actively don't know how to unconditionally love your own self, you see? So, you don't know how to accept that you will have flaws and imperfections, that you will then be able to welcome that you can make mistakes. Until you don't know how to forgive yourself, you don't know how to forgive others. And the forgiveness is not a, it's actively, we're flawed and imperfect, and nobody walks in any other person's shoes. Which is why it doesn't get harder if you know what Jesus talked about or God. It gets easier to understand. And then you get to become older and older and older and say the same things in so many different ways that I sound like a broken record. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, as I was saying, a divine feminine, we will notice a mask when we see one because they will make it sound like they're doing something special. Feeling is not a special gift. It's what we are. Thinking, not a special gift. It's what we are. Living a body is not a special gift. It's what we are. People who need a therapist, they have a hard time living their day-to-day life when they wake up in the morning. People that I'm talking to in the 5D collective doesn't have a hard time. We are blessed. We get to wake up. We get to do mindfulness and mindsight, and then true spirituality, not the mantles. The mantles are for Elsa Journey people and the super villains of their own super story. And again, it's a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old that will never know the light of day because their owner, which is a body and a human being, decides that, well, humans, they're fucked up, so I'm just going to stay this way because, they're picking on avoidance or whatever. And then we got Venus, the goddess of May, and so on and so forth. Thank you for stopping by. We'll be back again with more. Like, share, and subscribe. Have a wonderful